WWE's relationship with AAA has grown so much over the course of the last year. We have seen multiple talent from AAA compete on WWE soil, including guys like Elio de Dr. Wagner Jr., the current AAA Latin American champion. We've seen the current AAA tag team champions Pagano and Psycho Clown compete on WWE soil, and we've even also seen guys like Mr. Iguana, La Barca, and as well as all three members of Los Toxicas make their way onto WWE soil, and vice versa. We've seen guys like the LWO, All Ego Ethan Page, Chelsea Green, as well as several members of the Judgment Day, including Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Dominic Mysterio compete on AAA soil, as well as both versions of El Grande Americano. Obviously, the original and the new upgraded version of El Grande Americano. Speaking of Dirty Dominic Mysterio, back in September at Worlds Collide, Dominic Mysterio defeated Vikingo to win the AAA Mega Championship, a title that goes back decades of rich history of incredible world champions in AAA. Guys like Nick Nemeth, La Barca, and Vikingo all have went on to win that very same championship. But there are also others that have won it as well. Guys like Rey Fenix, as well as, if you can believe this, AEW's Kenny Omega once held the AAA Mega Championship, which was a partnership that kind of deteriorated after a while, and no one knows why. But speaking of the AAA Mega Championship, that brings us to the topic that everybody's been wondering for a long time now, and the question is, should Dominic Mysterio defend the AAA Mega Championship at WrestleMania? This is actually an idea that has been brought up by multiple fans to the entire WWE and AAA partnership, that a lot of people believe that it should happen, but there are others that believe that Dominic Mysterio should not defend the AAA Mega Championship at WrestleMania. But let's look at the history of the AAA Mega Championship, right? Because the AAA Mega Championship is a championship that, much like the NXT Championship, the WWE Championship, the United States Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and of course the NXT Women's Championship, the AAA Mega Championship has a lot of rich history. This goes all the way back to the mid 90s, when AAA had partnered with WCW, and over the years, many wrestlers have competed in AAA and have went on to do bigger things outside of AAA. Guys like Conan, guys like Rey Mysterio, who is a WWE and AAA Hall of Famer, guys like La Barca, Dr. Wagner, Dr. Wagner Jr., so many others. And even also, if I remember correctly, I believe Mil Mascaras at one point in his career competed in AAA. The Mega Championship is a championship that has been held by so many greats, including, as I mentioned before, guys like Ray Phoenix, guys like Kenny Omega. In fact, I can actually pull the list up here on my phone. Here we are. Um, so, interestingly enough, the AAA Mega Championship actually goes back almost 20 years. Funny enough, it goes back almost 20 years, and the list of champions is the list of who's who, right? Guys like El Messias, um, Cybernetico, Dr. Wagner Jr., Electroshock, El Zorro, Jeff Jarrett at one point in his career became AAA Mega Champion. Um, El El Texano Jr., um, Alberto El Patron or Alberto Del Rio, Johnny Mundo, obviously John Morrison, if you guys remember him, Ray Wagner, Ray Phoenix, Kenny Omega, Elio Del Vikingo, Nick Nemeth, and of course now Dominic Mysterio. So exactly there have been exactly 14 champions 14 champions have held the title, and it's been vacated. How many times has it been vacated? One, two, three, four. It's been vacated 4 times. It had been vacated 4 times, and it's interesting because because on December 7th, 2014, Alberto Del Rio became champion, and he became champion, and then ended up dropping the title because he left AAA to go back to WWE, which is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Um, So yeah, there was that. The second time that it got vacated was actually in 2019. It was in 2021. Kenny Omega became champion, but he had to vacate the title due to injury. So at Triple Mania, Elio Del Vikingo became champion, and I believe he holds the record for the longest reign ever. I believe he holds the record for the longest reign in a single reign. He holds the record at eight at 833 days, um, which is insane. Dominic Mysterio is sitting at over 160 days as champion, and this is history in the making, because Dominic Mysterio can make history by becoming the first person to bring a AAA championship to WrestleMania weekend, which has never happened before. That's never happened before, and Dominic Mysterio could potentially make that history, which brings up the question of whether or not Dominic Mysterio should defend the title at WrestleMania. And ironically enough, yes, I believe he should. And here's how I believe it should go down. Right now, Dominic Mysterio is sitting on his second reign as Intercontinental Champion. He can't speak. He defeated John Cena in his second to last match ever in professional wrestling back in November at Survivor Series in Dom's hometown of San Diego, down south from where I live here in LA. And with the help of the Judgment Day and the returning Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio became a two-time Intercontinental Champion. Because that because that Dominic is once again a double champion, there's no point in Dominic having both titles again. The way I see it, I feel like Dominic Mysterio should drop the title to Penta, potentially at Elimination Chamber in Chicago, which can give AAA the chance to find a number one contender for that title at WrestleMania. But because that Elio Del Vikingo is now the number one contender, for the AAA Mega Championship at a later time, one can argue could argue that we could very may well see we could very may well see that match take place at WrestleMania, but I believe it's supposed to be taking place at a AAA special. I don't remember. But right now, I believe right now Vikingo has aligned himself with has aligned himself with the Nigerian giant Omos and Dorian Roldan as part of Roldan's faction known as El Ojo, which the faction kind of went downhill after multiple members of that faction kind of went their separate ways a little bit. And yeah, with Omos in the faction, I can guarantee you that Vikingo, he could potentially become a potential three-time AAA Mega Champion, which is possible. But the question is, hypothetically speaking, let's say that Dominic Mysterio does not drop the title to Vikingo, but drops the Intercontinental title to Penta. If Dominic Mysterio does end up having to defend, the AAA Mega Championship at WrestleMania, who should he face? Who should he defend the title against at WrestleMania? Honestly, there's a long list of people that could take up that challenge, but I think it has to be Rey Mysterio, and the reason for that is because Rey has done everything that he set out to do in professional wrestling. He's a former multi-time Cruiserweight champion. He's a former multi-time tag team champion. He's a multi-time world champion in WWE. He's a former Intercontinental champion. He's a three-time United States champion. He's a Royal Rumble winner, and he's done pretty much everything that he set out to do in professional wrestling except for one thing, and that is the AAA Mega Championship. So my honest opinion, yes, Dominic Mysterio should defend the AAA Mega Championship because of how historic that match would be. The fact that this has never happened before is huge. And while it is true that yes, AAA's other championships had been defended on WWE soil, obviously yes, the AAA Mega Championship got got defended twice at Worlds Collide back in I think back in June last year, and then back in September a few months later. And while it is true that the AAA Latin American Championship also got defended on WWE soil, I feel like the AAA Mega Championship, having that title get defended at WrestleMania, it can really boost the partnership of WWE and AAA to heights never imagined. And think about this: with the Rey to Reyes tournament still going on, one could argue that whoever wins that tournament could potentially be in line for a shot at the AAA Mega Championship, and that match could potentially happen at WrestleMania. But obviously the road to WrestleMania is still in full swing. We are now on the fast lane, if you will, towards WrestleMania, but there is still one last stop for the main roster before WrestleMania, and that is the Elimination Chamber. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this whole ordeal, and whether or not Dominic Mysterio should defend the title at WrestleMania. Let me know down in the comments below, and that'll do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more WWE topic videos in the future, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.